Hello, arty peoples, and welcome to a pre-recorded episode of Jerry's Live. Now, emphasis on the pre-recorded part of that, because I'm not here. I'm actually off at a residency in France. So I unfortunately was not able to actually make it live, but we are going to make sure that our moderators and everybody in the team, as well as myself, we're going to be answering those questions for you guys. So please feel free to pop any of your comments and responses and questions in the chat below, and we will make sure to get back to you. So let's jump over to the episode. Hello, arty peoples, and welcome to another episode of Jerry's Live. My name is Emmy Klein, and I'm your host this evening. And today I thought I might do a little bit of a challenge for you guys. Originally, I was going to just teach how to paint fire, but I thought, what better way to do this but to just continuously practice? And that's the best way for us to improve upon our techniques. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint fire, but I'm going to paint a more simple kind of a photo, and then I'm going to progressively get more and more difficult as we go along, because fire can be very simple, like my first reference photo, and then it can get very complex the more fire you get. So what I'm going to do, I think, is the first one, and of course we will link all of the reference photos for you guys below, but for the first one, I think I'm going to take a time limit of, how much time do we got? 10, 15, 20, 30? I like that. All right, yeah, see, clearly, totally my idea. So for the first reference photo, I'm going to take 10 minutes. And then if you guys are following along, try to challenge yourselves to do this too. So you can use whatever materials you have lying around. Now, whatever materials you use kind of will change how you approach beginning your painting. But I'm going to be using the Turner acrylic gouache. I'm going to actually use the set of 18 colors. They actually have a lot of really lovely colors in this set. I don't imagine I'm going to need to go beyond this, but if you have just a basic set, that works too. If you want to use acrylics, you're probably going to be able to approach it kind of similarly to what I'm doing, because this paint does not re-wet once it's dry. Now, if you are using gouache, like a traditional gouache or a watercolor, you will need to work the way that you traditionally would need to. So make sure you save your highlights and work from light to dark. Now, oils tends to be the opposite direction, but you can do this in any media, and that's kind of the beauty of it. So, like I said, I'm going to be using the Turner acrylic gouache, this set of 18 colors, and I need to get painting. So let's get started. Now, the other thing that I am going to be using is just a variety of the Black Swan brushes. I am using the long handle because I am standing at an easel, so I just got to make sure that I consciously hold my brush at the bottom and step back, because that's going to help me, especially during the challenge, keep it nice and loose. I am not trying to paint a picture perfect, like realistic, photorealistic kind of a idea. I just need to get the idea of the reference photo down. So I'm going to start on this one. We're going to start the clock. The other thing that I'm using, the panels. So for this challenge, I specifically decided I was going to do 4 different images, because I have the I do have the Da Vinci 2-pack, which is, I really love this size. It's the 18 by 16, so tall and skinny. And I can also, do landscape if my photo reference kind of goes that way. But this is a 1/4 inch thick, and the beauty of these is that they're dual-sided, so I can paint on both sides. So what better for a challenge than a panel that I can just flip and then just keep going. So one side, though, is ultra smooth. The other one does have a slight texture. It's the medium texture, so it's not even just really excessively textured, but there is definitely more of a kind of a surface feel on the one side than the other. You'll know immediately as soon as you pick it up. Now, that isn't really going to affect how I paint, but it's another really good way to see which surface is best for you too. So I'm just going to use these, and so I'm going to paint 4, one on each side. So let's get started, because I'm very excited to actually do this. So the first reference photo is just simply a match on fire. Let's grab a couple colors before we officially start the clock that would kind of work with this, because once I start that clock, I don't want to have to pull out any other colors that I'm going to be using. So just based off of my reference, definitely see some of that yellow, of course blue, but before I get there, that is the permanent yellow deep. This is permanent orange. Oop, it's got a bubble. It's got another bubble. Stop it. Permanent orange. Let's do some permanent scarlet. I don't know if I'm going to officially need this color, but it's better to have it on my palette rather than not have it on my palette. Let's do some carmine for a little bit of like a cooler red. And I am going to still have to paint the match head. So, I mean, it's black, which I will definitely use black, but I'm going to grab some of that burnt sienna, do a little bit of violet, just because I can. And then, of course, do love me the jet black. So I'm probably going to tint that jet black with the brown and the violet. Now, do I use sky blue? I mean, it is the sky, but, or do I do the cobalt? Let me see my colors. You know what? Why don't we do both? Just a little touch of both. Why not? Come on, buddy. Okay. Actually, I'm probably going to need more than that. There's a whole sky. It's the whole background. All right, and then of course, let's do some white. I will put that down here. All right. Now I do also have on the ready some extra jet black because some of my other reference photos do have a large quantity of jet black. So let me get my paintbrush ready, which, by the way, whenever you're mixing your colors, you do want to get your paintbrush wet because these are concentrated, so you don't need to just paint straight from the tube onto here. You do need to kind of dilute them a little bit, but I'm going to be working real fast. So we have time on the clock kind of set. Are we doing?
Brush it down. That's great.
It's so bad.
The fire looks good. Yeah.
Listen, this is a challenge. Like when I first started off, I was so like, this is gonna be great. That's okay. This is a challenge. It's just to try to see how much you can accomplish within a short period of time. And this is not an easy subject. So, you know, my simple painting kicked my butt. Can I say that on camera? Is that a thing? Okay, good. So, this is the real beauty of these panels. Try not to touch the wet paint. It's like it never happened. Okay. So, I'm going to pull up my next reference photo. And let's see. How complicated? Because I have 5 photos.
You have 15 minutes from the last time.
Okay. So we're going to do 15 minutes this time.
Yeah.
Which, again, it's like, I feel like I accomplished quite a lot in that time, but then, like, time flies. So I feel like I could probably do the same photo and do it well, but we're going to change it up. Because that's what this is about. So I'm going to actually turn this and go that way. I'm going to stick with my 20 filbert. This is at least a comfort brush for me. Alrighty then. 15 minutes on the clock? All right, let's start. Tell me when.
Go.
Okay.
I start when you say start.
I don't know.
emptiness. Got a brand new plan, forming like a silhouette. Our eyes are looking up, gonna get what we want. Our time to overcome. The stars align for us. Hearts soaring like a jet plane, crushing and we never look back. Tell them this is our game. We're taking it with all that we have. It'll never be the same. Victory, rewriting the past. Hearts soaring like a jet plane, crushing and we never look back. Up until the last call, staying until the end, together through it all. Even if we break a bend, our eyes are looking up, gonna get what we want. Our time to overcome. The stars align for us. Hearts soaring like a jet plane, crushing and we never look back. Tell them this is our game. We're taking it with all that we have. It'll never be the same. Victory, rewriting the past. Hearts soaring like a jet plane, crushing and we never look back.
So, all right. So, yeah, this one far more successful. There's definitely a lot of things that I would change on here. I definitely did not expect that black to take so long to dry. Probably should have put that in at the end. But at the same time, like, I feel like I've accomplished a lot of the colors that I meant to, but, you know, very clearly I wasn't blending everything out beautifully. So we're going to jump to the 30-minute one, and we are going to hopefully get in a lot more of those details, but I'm still going to start my painting just like this. I'm going to frazzle paint at first and then slowly refine it. That way, because it's still a very time limit crunch kind of a thing for your paintings. But that way, if I get the main idea down, I can then take a little bit more time at the end to really refine some details and to where it's not completely photorealistic, but there's enough information there to make it look really successful.
All right, so let's go ahead.
So, painting number 3. Doo-dee-doo-dee-dee. All right. Are we, we're gonna do 30 minutes on the clock. Is this, we're officially gonna be, this is the last one? Okay, yeah. So,
Make the video be longer for you otherwise.
3 instead of 4, because, yeah, that would be a very long video. So, we're going to switch it to 3 paintings, but this is going to be my masterpiece. I can feel it. Now that I'm all loosey-goosey from the other 2. Or 1, if you want to just discount the first one. But, we ready? 30 minutes on the clock?
Just have
crackers.
Embers. Stick butter.
I think that's about as good as it's gonna get.
Alright, we're on 5 again, so.
Well, the splatters got all over me. Probably got it all over set. It might even be on my face, not gonna lie. But I made fire. Way more successful. Again, this was just done in 30 minutes. There's a lot of details that there's a blob of water. There's a lot of details I didn't put in, but as you can see, I was just making little squiggle marks to kind of give you the impression of the fire. But I tried to make sure that there were some areas that were more transparent, and then just kind of building those layers upon each other, just to kind of give you the overall idea. And then I had fun with those little embers that were going through the reference photo. Just a quick little splatter of the white, some red, and this one I'm not crazy about. I'm sorry. Just touch that and just smudge it. Like it never happened. Sorry. That one I wasn't crazy about, which is, the name of the game with splatters, but painting fire, and if you continue to do these practices, you will be able to improve upon your skills and be able to get a kind of painting that you are looking for, if that makes any sense. Hopefully that makes sense. But that was painting fire, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely had fun, and I hope you guys do this challenge. Again, use any media that you want to use, and just kind of have fun with it. And see how quickly you can do this. Set your time limits and give it a whirl. So if you do this challenge, though, make sure you post it to our Jerry's Live Facebook group. I would love to see it. Tag today's class code, and that way we can search for it. And if you don't want to actually post it to the whole group, you can always send it directly to me on my Facebook page, which is Emmy, host of Jerry's Live. And I would really love to see what you guys make. So I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you next time. Bye!